What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Josh, and I'm here back with another video. And as you guys can see on this video, I have another haircut tutorial. It's been a while, but I'm happy I'm back at it. They finally let us open back up ever since coronavirus shut us down. But without further ado, let's get right into this haircut. Right now I'm picking this hair out, stretching all the hairs out, so when I fade it, I have everything picked out so the fade can be at its best. So the first step in this fade is setting in my bald line. I'm using my Babyliss Gold Effect skeleton trimmers to set in this bald line. When I'm setting in my bald line, I want it to be even on both sides, and I want the line to sit in the same area on both sides, which means when I look at it from the front, I want it to be symmetrically leveled out. So a lot of times when people set in their bald lines, they can't work from one side to the other side. Sometimes I feel like if you are a beginner or if it's your first time doing it, I recommend starting on each side and then meeting in the back. So basically you would start the guideline on the left side of the head by the temple, and then on the right side, and then meet the two lines in the back. That would be probably the easiest way to set in this guideline if you are a beginner. But right now I'm just going to be cleaning all the hair off that we don't need anymore, since we got our guideline set in, and we're going to move on to the next step in this fade. So after setting in my bald line, my next step is to go in and soften up that line by flipping my clippers upside down the opposite way that I set it with, because it's less harsh as far as like setting in a hard guideline, and it just softens it up to make it easier to be flicked out when it's time to take out that line after we do our next step. So my next step in this fade is to set in my next guideline using my Wahl cordless scissors with the lever all the way open, and I'm going up about ½ an inch. And right here, as you can see, I'm going and I flip the clipper upside down is because his hair grows in a different direction. And if I want this guideline to have an even look all the way around throughout this whole guideline, I have to make sure that I cut every hair the same length. So if hairs are going in a different direction and you're cutting against the grain, but it's growing like upwards, you're not cutting it the same length as all the hair that's growing downward. So you have to turn your clippers and adjust your clippers to where you can cut every single hair the same length, because if not, your section is going to be choppy once you go in to take out the guideline that we're going to take out once we're done setting in this guideline. So it's just going to make it easier for you to do that and leaving your fade like even all the way around. It's going to create a better outcome for you because it's going to leave less choppiness in your fade, and every transition is going to be smooth because every hair in each section is going to be the same height. So when going back and blending that, you will see that it's easier to blend when everything is the same height, because you're going to use the same thing to blend everything out if it's all the same height, if you get what I'm saying. So right here I'm going to be going in and taking out the guideline that I created with my trimmers. And if you guys remember, I said I went in and softened this line up with my trimmers to make it easier for this step right here. This is the reason why I went in and softened up the line, because the trimmers are so close. It's to the point where that the Wahl singers cannot fade it out because the trimmers get extremely closer than the clippers do. So if I went in and softened up the line, it made it a little bit easier to blend out the hair from skin into the no guard open. It made it just that easier for me. And doing that will make your transition so much easier because you won't be working so hard getting that bottom line out. You know what I'm saying? You have a hard time doing that when you set in harsh guidelines. So either soften up your line or either use a soft trimmer that's not zero gapped. So right here I'm going to be setting in my next guideline, which is my #1 guard with it all the way closed. And I'm going up about ½ an inch again, setting in my next guideline. And right here you don't want to go too high. We're giving him a high top fade. That's why we're at the position we are at now, because we do want his fade to be kind of high. But when it comes to smaller guards, not like the #1 guard, and you're working in this area right here, you don't want to go in too high because you're going to mess up your fade. The whole purpose of this fade is to be high, like going towards the top, but kind of have an outward motion once we reach the bulk of the hair. So that's why we're going to scoop out when we do our fading down process, because we want the hair to puff out on the sides and not go straight up and not just be so tight. You know what I mean? We don't want the fade looking like a bald, like a high bald fade. We still want to have that flare out at the top of this fade. So as you can see right now, I'm setting in my guideline, and I'm going with and against the grain, cutting the hair in the way that it grows to make sure that I cut every hair evenly. So every time I go around to one side, I always come back to the first beginning side just to make sure I have every hair cut evenly. So after going in with my number 1 guard all the way closed, I'm going in with my half guard and I'm going under the line and flicking up to the line, flicking this line out, creating our blend. And the reason why we're using the half guard is because the half guard is half of the number 1 guard. You have to understand your clippers. So let me walk you guys through a little process of what I did here. So if I went in with a ball line and then I came back with the clipper all the way open, and then I went up with a number 1 guard, so the clipper all the way open and the 1 guard has to be blended into each other. How do I do that? Using the half guard, because it all doubles back to numbers. The half guard is half of 1. And the no guard open is its own number, but it's half of the half guard, you know, in our reality. So you have to think, what's the middle point between these 2 guards that's going to make them meet up and fade? That's all you have to do. So right here, I'm going to start my fading down process. I don't want to push any more guidelines up into this fade. So now I'm going to fade down to meet with the number 1 guard closed. So that means I'm going to walk down to my guards until I meet back with my number 1 guard. And then that's where we're going to do some detail work. So as you guys seen, I had my number 3 guard on at first. Now I have my number 2 guard on with it all the way open. And what I'm doing is fading down. So basically I'm going to start from a bigger guard and walk down until I meet with the last guard that I created my last guideline with. So I'm going to walk down in my guards until I meet that section. So right here I'm going to go with my number 2 guard all the way open, and I'm just going to be flicking out. Every time I get to the top of his other side of his parietal ridge, I'm going to flick the clipper outwards. So I have my number 2 guard on open. Now I have it on closed, and I'm basically just walking down in my fade. So basically what the guards are doing, they're just blending the hair shorter and shorter and shorter in a downwards motion to create a blend from shorter to longer if you look at it in the reverse. So after going in with my number 2 guard, I have my number 1.5 guard on now. I have my number 1.5 guard all the way open before I close it, because I want to go longer to shorter blending. We're blending, that's the whole purpose. We're not just creating lines, we're not just cutting hair away, we're actually blending the hair as we're going down. So I started with the clipper all the way open, then I'm going to drop down to the 1.5 closed, and then I'm going to go to my next guard. So right now I have it closed all the way, and we're just going to keep blending at this dark line that we see until we see it lightening up. And it's going to meet up with our number 1 guard, which we initially stopped because that was the last guideline that we created. So right here I have my 1 guard on with it all the way open. As you guys know, we stopped our last guideline at the number 1 guard closed. So since we just came out with the 1.5, we had to get something to meet the 1 guard closed with the 1.5 closed, and that's the 1 guard open all the way. That's going to blend the 1 closed right into the 1.5. So right here I'm going to be doing some detail work. I'm going to be doing some clipper over comb to connect our sides with the top without using any guards, because I don't want to use any guards, because I know that if I use guards, it's going to push my fade up. It's going to push my hair up. With me using clipper over comb, I have more control of what I'm cutting and how high I'm going and what areas I'm cutting in and what areas of hair that I'm cutting off. I'm not just cutting hair with the guard. You're going to cut off a lot of hair in one area at each time, and you don't know how your fade is going to come out. You want to take control. You want to be more personal with your fades and not relying on the clippers. That's why you have to understand every single step. So right here I'm going across the top of the hairline with my number 1 guard with it all the way open, and I'm going with the grain. This is going to cut off stray hairs and long hairs and bulky areas in the front of the lineup, which is making it easier to do our lineup. So right here I'm going to be adding some holding spray. This is going to lock down the hair for me and get it ready for the lineup, and I'm going to go over it with some cold air just to freeze it and get it to hold still. And I'm going to go in with my Babyliss Rose FX trimmers, and I'm going to be doing his natural lineup right now. It looks super good already. As you guys can see, this natural lineup came out crazy. This client, he kind of has some thin hair, so his lineup isn't as dark, but as you guys can see, I have my clippers adjusted properly to where they're putting a nice line on his lineup, and it made the haircut pop. It made that fade just pop some more. And right here I'm going to be adding some enhancements because my clients like it. Some of my clients, it's optional, but they know that their natural hairline underneath is looking good. As you guys seen, he has a good natural hairline, so we're just going to follow on top of that hairline with our hair fibers. And even when we line the hair fibers up, we're going to be lining it up with the actual hairline that we created before. When you do his lineup, as far as like after spraying enhancements, you can still see the natural lineup through the enhancements, and that's where you want to kind of base everything off of as far as lining up the enhancements to make it have a more natural look. Even when it comes off, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to be like the hairline was pushed back, but you had the enhancement sitting up closer, so you know it's going to have a natural look to it, and that's what we're looking forward to. I see a lot of people dissing enhancements a lot of times, but it's all about the barber. You want to make sure your barber knows how to cut hair without it. It's just an enhancement. It pops. It makes your haircut look way better. It's like I don't know how to really explain it. It just adds a pop to your haircut. You know, it's not all about making the sharpest line with the enhancements. It's about enhancing an already enhanced and good looking haircut. So after shaping up the hair fibers, you want to add some more holding spray on top just to lock it in so it doesn't move. When you add hairspray to hair fibers, it locks it in. It doesn't go away. It's kind of it's like stiff. When I brush it, it doesn't even come off. So I feel like it's durable. YouTube, we about done with this haircut. Right here is one of my favorite things to do. Going in with the lineup after applying the holding spray just creates a super dope ash line, super sharp haircut. And right here I'm adding some oil sheen, and I'm gonna go in with my new dread sponge and just twist his hair up, add a little bit more style to bring his haircut out some more. If you watched the video up until this point, I really appreciate it. We brought this dude back to life. Look at this before. We had to do it, but without further ado, YouTube, this is the cut. Hope you guys like it. Leave a comment, leave a like, share this with somebody, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. I got a whole lot of dope haircut tutorials. Follow me on Instagram at Joshxbarber. See you guys on the next video. It's your boy Josh, and I'm out.